Hello and welcome to Hard Up Hiker, and this video is about cookware and why this thing, the titanium pot, might not be your best choice. Now, a lot of you might be already using one of these titanium pot, and they're very light and they are very convenient. Now this one I've done my mods on, and the naysayers that said, oh, it'll burst into flames, there's a little bit of singeing there, but otherwise it's fine. It hasn't burst into flames, so you have to be aware that the rubber tubing can burn, and so you just keep it away from the flame. But the mod works fine, and I did it with this one as well. But the big problem, apart from the traffic, because I'm shooting this in my garden. Welcome to my garden. Oh, it's not my garden, it's the garden. Not an exclusive garden. I wish I could afford an exclusive garden in London. And the big problem is that although they do work very well for boiling water and they burn or heat very quickly, the problem is thermal conductivity. Now you can see on this pan it's burnt, and inside is burnt as well, because I use a MSR pocket rocket. No, a normal one, not a deluxe, and that has very localized heat. But also, it's a nature of titanium is that it doesn't conduct heat very well. What you want in a pan is for the heat to conduct itself across the whole thing and to spread evenly, because otherwise, for water it doesn't matter. So if you're just heating water, use one of these. They're very light, or the lightest pot you can afford, really. If you're trying to cook, as I was, this is what happens, it burns. And this is after lots of scrubbing, so it was horrible. I didn't realise, this is why this video title is probably called something like the titanium scam, because I think there's a real problem in the hiking world. Everyone thinks titanium good because they go for ultralight, and this mindset of like ultralight, ultralight, ultralight being good, the lighter the better. Well, in this case, that's not true, because you're probably better off getting an aluminium pot, like this is the Fire Maple XK6, XK6 or something like that. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. And this is about the price you'd pay for a titanium pot from China. And obviously it's bigger, because the problem with this Lixada pot, as one of the other hiker channels I follow, is that this only goes up to 750 at the top. So it's really a 550, 600ml pot, or if you're running very brave, you can fill it to the top and use it, and just it will spill over. So I got a larger pot because I wanted to actually cook, and actually cook meals that aren't for a small midget. No offense to many midgets out there. So, and this has a heat exchanger. Not too happy about the rubber plasticky things. I'm sure that probably easily bursts into flames, but we'll see. But a heat exchanger is good, because that means that it's like the jet boils that I can't afford and way too heavy anyway, and those kind of things. It means it's much more efficient transfer of heat with the heat coil that's here. And so, to be honest, the weight of one of these, or the weight of one of the probably best better comparison, is the two pans. This is an aluminium pan, a cheap one. So I mean, when you actually, the weight of this, although officially yes, this is much lighter, it's not a massive difference. And for many years I was really, like, oh no, it has to be really light, and it wasn't until I started trying to cook on these things. If you want to do, burgers, sausages, steak or whatever, and that was from steak, they're not. Titanium is not the best bet. What you want is something like this, because not only it's cheaper, I mean, this was for the set, this little pan, and that was like £7. So they're cheaper, slightly heavier, but they're actually going to cook better. You'll actually want to eat the stuff that comes out of it, whereas when it comes to the little pots, the titanium pots, they're really only good for Noodles, pasta, risotto, not so great. The burn thing in this, that's from risotto. So you really do have to be aware of that it's not really great for that sort of thing. I got rid of my steel pot. You've also got stainless steel. This is like a little mess pot, which I've never used. It's like a Poundland special or something like, I think it's Poundland. You know, it's a bit small really, but the good thing about stainless steel is it's heaviest of the three. Titanium's lightest, then you've got aluminium in the middle, and then you've got stainless steel. Stainless steel is very durable. You know, it's very strong. It's like, you know, you can, this stuff will bend if you drop it and dent the aluminium. But it's very strong, and also, I think, although I'm not someone that I use camping stoves and don't use fires, if you're doing something on a fire, you either need titanium or steel. I think aluminium's got a bit of a low melting point, so it might trash it. Although, you know, if it's a cheap cook set, you might not care. And also, I suspect, I'm half expecting these plastic things to melt on this cheaper one. So we'll see. I would not expect it on the Fire Maple, because I expect that to be pretty fireproof. But we'll see. But yeah, that's why I've gone aluminium, because the titanium is not, you don't have that spread of heat, and it's especially if you're using something like a camping stove, you're not using a Soto Windmaster or a Pocket Rocket Deluxe, which has a very wide head to it. You will find that even more, that it will just burn the food right locally to where it is and not actually cook anywhere else. And I wish I'd known this about titanium, that it has got poor thermal conductivity. These little potties are thin enough for it to get through, but it doesn't spread out. And that means that it, you know, if you've got risotto or any food next to there, just burn to it. And yeah, they don't make non-stick titanium pots, so yeah, it's not so great. Also here, I've got my Cedar Summit, I think called X Cup or something like that. And this is really good. This is a really nice thing. I have actually got some folding, is it Oricano? Oricasno? The name will be somewhere around here. Folding plates and a cup and stuff coming. I'm going to try those out because they're very cheap. The company went bust, but there's someone still selling on eBay for very cheap. So, and this is my brew buddy, which is hard to get in this country, but really good. It just sort of goes in there. It saves me having. I used to carry a steel. This little thing actually is supposed to have a steel press in it, and it was just too much weight and too much faff. Really, it's difficult to clean, you know. So, but I like my coffee, so yeah. So yeah, I think summing up, don't necessarily go for the lightest thing. It won't necessarily do the job you want it to. It is important to choose the thing that's best for the job, not necessarily go for the lightest way, as I did. I mean, I think of the money not wasted. I will use a titanium pot for very short trips, for things where I know I'm just going to heat water, or maybe noodles or pasta. Again, pasta, you have to keep stirring it because it's just going to stick. Yeah, I wish I'd known this when I started, that, you know, I saw these really heavy pots and went, oh, no, and then went straight to the titanium. I never realised that there's actually a sort of middle ground, which is, especially something like the Fire Maple, it's really light. And the Vangos, if you can't afford the Fire Maple, go for the Vango sets, and the Vango sets are basically rebadged Chinese ones. You can find them on AliExpress or Temu or whatever. But that sort of combination of the sort of little pot and the big pot together, that's a good one. I think Highlander have also rebadged it. You find it in lots of places have sort of rebadged it as their own, but it's a generic thing. But those kind of things, I wish I'd gone with something like that or this first, rather than following the titanium crowd, you know, following the sort of the titanium trend, and it's why I think it is a bit of a scam, because it's like titanium everything, and it's like, this is a Lixada cup, and if you scratch it, little white stuff comes out. You know, it gets, and titanium isn't poisonous, because officially it is, but the oxide, it oxidizes, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm not totally sure if some of the titanium stuff is actually titanium. It could actually be just rebadged aluminium. It's possible, but it's pretty light, so it's probably not. But this sort of size, this could be aluminium, and it'd be very similar. So it's very hard to tell sometimes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll speak to you soon. Has that worked at all? Hello and welcome to Hard Up Hiker, and this video is about cookware, and it's about titanium and the problems with titanium, especially when it does that. Take two, I think. Hello and welcome to Hard Up Hiker. This... Oh, has it got rust in it? No, it's not rust. Now the good thing about the titanium pots is they're very lightweight. Did that again. See if it's any good.